Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to this week's learning session from Training Location. We're an authorized disc distributor for Wiley Publishing, as well as a channel partner with the Ken Blanchard Companies. My name is Bill Harshman, and I'll be your presenter today for this short, informative lesson. We know that the four-quadrant disc model actually houses a total of 12 styles. This lesson continues our increased understanding of not just the four quadrants with which you're already familiar, rather an understanding of how changing proximity, and that is distance to a neighboring style, within a particular quadrant yields a result which identifies a separate, unique disc style. Today's focus is on one of those styles, and that is the DI, or dominant influence style. Where'd this come from? Well, as the disk has evolved and become totally computer-based, the algorithms showed a much more robust capability to plot your dot very specifically within one of the four quadrants. Research showed that the analysis and weighting of the results placed the same letter styles in various places of a given quadrant. Simply put, the result was different degrees of the same style and slightly differing preferences and priorities. So what's in this for the learner? This lesson will be helpful if you haven't taken the disc, or if you don't know your disc style, or if you're a style other than DI. And here's a reminder, one of the cornerstone principles that we discussed in previous lessons: everyone is a unique blend of all disc styles, and people typically tend toward one style. This principle is particularly appropriate as we dive into the DI style. Now, quick summary of the DI style. Let's start with what we know. We already know a couple basics about the DI style that resides within the dominant quadrant. This D quadrant, including the DI, the D, and the DiSC styles, has a pace of faster and outspoken, combined with an agreeableness quotient of questioning and skeptical, we call result focused. And the brief list of observable behaviors or descriptors still includes direct, firm, strong-willed, forceful, and results-oriented. Now, from our model, we also know that the DI style priorities differ slightly from D and DiSC and include results, action, and enthusiasm. So as we proceed in this lesson, you'll notice one or more of these priorities identified in our D candidate. And if you'd like, you can refer to our blog titled Everything Disc Workplace Profile, the 8 priorities, to understand more about the priorities associated with the disc styles, specifically the DI. Now, the thrust of this lesson is around the priorities and qualities that tie those aforementioned descriptors together. Let's begin by examining the priorities. Priorities, which are listed around the circumference of the model, are the primary areas where people focus their energy depending on their disc style. Everyone has at least 3 priorities. Some have 4 to 5, but having more is no better or worse than having 3. So I'm sharing priorities from the Everything Disc Workplace Profile in this example. Now, the Everything Disc Workplace Profile priorities are unique to you and based on your specific results. Priorities just help us understand how our style might be reflected in motivations and behaviors within real-life work scenarios. The important thing to remember, though, is that when things get foggy, such as when stress or uncertainty appear, we seek the priorities associated with our style. So let's look at the priorities of the DI style. First is results. The DI works to accomplish goals rapidly. They're competitive, however, also use charm to persuade others. To many, they seem way too focused on results. Next one is action. The DI seems adventurous and bold. Getting bored easily, they often seek out unique assignments, including leadership positions. They're known for their energetic approach. And third and last is enthusiasm. The DI appears charming and fun because of their high energy. They use their excitement to hook others and to create a lively environment. Some styles just can't handle their high-spirited approach. Next, we consider the qualities of the DI style. These are similar to core needs mentioned in previous articles. However, they're less unconscious and more at the surface near conscious, observable behavior. The qualities vary and are represented in what we call scales. So due to the pairing of styles to form a particular scale, you'll notice that these dual letter designations are shared with their neighboring dual letter mirror. For example, the DI and ID styles are physically paired together into a single scale, and as such, they share qualities. Same is true of the IS or SI proximity, the CS and SC proximity, and the CD and DC proximity. The result is 8 scales instead of 12, which you might expect. So we have 12 DiSC styles in 8 scales, and those are listed on the left side of the screen as follows. Now, let me note here, though the DI and ID styles are separate and unique, you can consider the styles in one scale when it comes to qualities. So let's take a look. Let's review the qualities of the DI ID style, which include excitement, opportunity, and importance. So let's go back. Excitement. If you ask a DI/ID, they will tell you they're adventurous or risk takers. They crave stimulation and are and as such are drawn toward exciting roles. You'll find them at the center of the action and larger than life people. They'll fly down the road with an idea without spending too much time on analysis, which can lead them to potentially miss obstacles or appropriate due diligence. Next, opportunity. They're constantly, almost unconsciously, scanning their environment for possibilities. They're at the front of the line when initiating big changes and willing to take chances and networking. Fresh ideas can distract them from unfinished initiatives. And next, in opportunity, others are captured with their energy and storytelling. This helps them seize opportunities and bring others on board. Last is importance. Their sense of self-worth is tied to recognition. They're drawn to positions that feature recognition, advancement, and influence. They demonstrate high self-confidence with an instinct of unstoppable, and they'll avoid restraints on their autonomy with a persuasive and magnetic approach. So that was a lot of new, detailed, complex information. What do you glean from that and apply meaning with to daily life? Well, there's an implication for handling conflict. The DI style includes the following characteristics, which include passionate and expressive, they're assertive, they're self-assured, they want to have control, they're competitive, they're biased toward action, and they have a very clear vision of how things should be. Well, let me share just one so what. The DI person isn't used to holding back, and they feel their emotions in the moment. As such, they want to act on their impulses rather than repress them. Now, this factor alone can be healthy, particularly in organizations. And finally, they can be so inclined toward winning that they can't ignore the warning signs from other parts of their brain, which are suggesting them to slow down a little bit. There's one more important implication I want to share. Research shows that there's actually one occupation most correlated with the DI style. That is the executive. One reason is that they aspire to more powerful, influential positions in the organization. However, when it comes to feedback around leadership, the DI style tends to get lower ratings on things like being open to input, or showing diplomacy, or facilitating dialogue. The so what is for the DI to consider how they would increase their effectiveness. At a glance, the DI is into quick action and new opportunities. This can come across as impatience and even egotism if overused. This lesson can help the DI to increase effectiveness by accepting and understanding their own style, then incorporating a little patience, a little more humility, and a generous amount of consideration of others' ideas and opinions. These results can be amazing. So I hope this overview has increased your awareness, knowledge, and familiarity of the DiSC, and specifically the dominant influence style. Whether your needs are leadership, onboarding, culture change, team building, or just simply communication, DiSC is the research-based, proven leading training solution. It's impacted more than 8 million learners in over 130,000 organizations and through 14 languages in over 70 countries worldwide. DiSC provides a quick, intuitive way to understand yourself and others, and it provides immediate and lasting impact on people and culture. And as always, the key to effectiveness for DiSC is understanding your and other styles, then using that knowledge for improved interactions. Here's our contact info. And before you go, I'd like to extend you a resource and a request. I'll be happy to send you a sample PDF of any of the profiles you see on our website. traininglocation.com. Or if you'd like to discuss a complimentary live webinar introducing DiSC or one of our profiles to your team or organization, you can contact me at info@traininglocation.com. And be sure to check out our learning blog at the website and click on blogs and keep an eye out for our next article in the series. And that would be understanding the DI style. ID style, understanding the ID style. Sorry about that. Oh. And before you close your screen, we always appreciate your like, share, download. And of course, for continued learning, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss new content. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye till next time.